Chip Roy, Republican from Texas, who called the bill a turd sandwich over the weekend. By the way, he calls everything a turd sandwich. I found out that he had a threesome with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert, and he called that a turd sandwich. Well, actually, that is a turd sandwich. But he was a little more eloquent on Tuesday. Here he is pretty much threatening Kevin McCarthy's speakership.
That is why this group will oppose it. We will continue to fight it today, tomorrow, and no matter what happens, there's going to be a reckoning about what just occurred unless we stop this bill by tomorrow.
A reckoning. Very menacing. But you know what? Kevin McCarthy is a survivor. And, you know, he's had to deal with the Freedom Caucus, these far-right Republicans before. He knows what they're like. He knows they want to inflict pain on ordinary Americans. Kevin McCarthy understands that people like Lauren Boebert and Chip Roy, this isn't about balancing the budget. It's satisfying the bloodlust of their constituents. And I think Kevin McCarthy is a lot smarter than he lets on. I think he slipped an Easter egg into this debt ceiling bill. Here he is on Tuesday talking to reporters. Pay attention. Pay close attention to what he says. Here he is telling reporters why this debt ceiling bill is a good deal for Republicans because of what he has slipped into it.
For things we bought that we can return, like COVID money, money to China and others, we're bringing that back. We might have a child that has no job, no dependents, but sitting on a couch. We're going to encourage that person to get a job and have to go to work, which gives them worth and value.
Okay, I'm going to play the key sentence here.
We might have a child that has no job, no dependents, but sitting on a couch. We're going to encourage that person to get a job.
Now, I know you think, many of my listeners right now think it's not an Easter egg. You say, oh, that's a Freudian slip. But here is Kevin McCarthy on Fox News Tuesday night saying the same exact thing.
But we also did something different. In this family, we may have a child that able-bodied, not married, no kids, but he's sitting on the couch collecting welfare. We're going to put work requirements on that individual. So he's going to have work requirements. He's going to get a job, and it's going to make the life easier.
Now, that is not artificial intelligence, I promise you. That is Kevin McCarthy repeating what he said during his press conference. Some of you think it's a Freudian slip. Listen to it again.
In this family, we may have a child that able-bodied, not married, no kids, but he's sitting on the couch collecting welfare. We're going to put work requirements on that individual.
Able-bodied children who are not married, sitting on the couch, collecting welfare, not working. He said that. And that's how I think he's going to keep his speakership. That's how I think he gets the Freedom Caucus on board and stays in power, by putting children to work. I think he slipped it in to this budget ceiling bill. He said it during his press conference that able-bodied children sitting on their couch should have to work for their welfare. Then he went on Fox and said it again. I don't think it's a slip. I think it's an Easter egg. He wants able-bodied children to get off the couch and go get a job. And that's what's happening all over America in red states, like in Arkansas or Kentucky, where children no longer need permission from their parents to work incredibly dangerous jobs. Here's a news report from last week in Kentucky. Well, that was supposed to be a news report from Kentucky.
McDonald's franchise is being accused of hiring 10-year-olds. The Department of Labor says this was happening in Kentucky. The kids were not paid, yet sometimes worked as late as 2 a.m. The Labor Department says they made food, cleaned the store, worked the drive-thru, even managed the register. Oh, my goodness. So one of them even worked the deep fryer. You do have to be at least 16 to do that.
Yep, it's already happening. Kids working the deep fryer at McDonald's. Sure, it's illegal now in Kentucky for kids, 10-year-old kids to work the deep fryer? It's illegal now in Kentucky, but wait till we see what Kevin McCarthy slipped into this debt ceiling bill. I think Republicans in the Freedom Caucus will be pleasantly surprised to discover that pretty soon minors can now work as minors.